What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So things once again get heated ahead of their highly anticipated March 25th showdown between former IBF super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Caleb Sweethand Plant. Okay, Caleb Sweethand Plant, 22 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 13 wins by way of knockout. He's 30 years of age, 6'1", with a 74-inch arm reach. Caleb Plant is coming off of a brutal 9th round knockout victory over Anthony Durrell. Okay, and so with that said, Caleb Plant is finally heading into the fight that the world wanted to see, okay, between himself and former two-time WBC super middleweight world champion superstar boxer David the Monster, the Mexican Monster, and Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer David Benavidez, who is 26 wins, no losses, no draw, 23 big wins by way of knockout. He is 26 years of age, 6'3", with a 75-inch arm reach. Okay, so they're scheduled to face off finally March 25th. Okay, this is a fight that been long in the making. When Caleb Plant beat Jose Uzcategui and was the IBF champion, everybody expected this was the biggest fight in super middleweight between David Benavidez and Caleb Plant until 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer, who's now the current undisputed super middleweight world champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez decided to make that division and campaign at 168. The fight to be made, the fight that was anticipated, was David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. Now, Caleb Plant, he ended up fighting Canelo Alvarez and defending his titles. And Canelo Alvarez, he knocked Caleb Plant out. And then David Benavidez, he lost his titles on the scale twice. Outside the sport of boxing twice. Once on the scale, okay, and once due to recreational use, okay, entertainment use, okay. And that saw him stripped of his WBC title twice. So he didn't ever lose in the ring. He's undefeated. Caleb Plant, he lost to Canelo Alvarez. And so now finally we're going to get this fight. There's no belts on the line because obviously neither one is a champion because Canelo Alvarez is the undisputed champion. But with that said, things have been getting heated between Caleb Plant and David Benavidez for quite some time. And now we had the press conference to where they had multiple encounters that they had to have, a high supply of security to stop them from fighting each other, right? On the way to the press conference, they somehow, collided, where their schedules crossed paths, and before they even walked in to the arena to have the press conference, to the press conference, they got into it there. They got into it at the press conference. They got into it after the press conference. They got into it during the interviews. And according to sources, they was getting into it, during the photo shoot. They crossed paths again, to which Caleb Plant revealed his physique. Okay, now we know David Benavidez is somebody, obviously, who missed weight on the scale and lost his belt. And Caleb Plant highlighted that when he stated, you better make sure you make weight. Now, there's no belt on the line, so it's not going to stop the fight from coming to fruition or lose any luster. But we know David Benavidez is a very, very big 168-pounder, and many people question how he even makes the weight, okay? And so with that said, Caleb Plant, he revealed his physique at the shoot, and Caleb Plant is in tip-top shape. Tip-top shape, okay? You can clearly see Caleb Plant is 1,000% taking this fight serious, okay? And he knows, as he stated, this is a legacy fight. This is a fight, that the world has been anticipating. And this is a fight he can't have another hiccup, and it gives him another opportunity in a rematch, because the winner of this fight is going to be the WBC mandatory challenger for Canelo Alvarez. Now, I don't know how much Canelo Alvarez is going to honor it and actually fight the winner of this fight. And it's ironic because Canelo Alvarez is picking David Benavidez to win this fight. He said that he believes David Benavidez is going to win this fight. He fought Caleb Plant, so he knows obviously what Caleb Plant brings to the table, but he's picking David Benavidez. But the winner of this fight is the mandatory challenge for Canelo Alvarez. But Canelo Alvarez has other plans. He's going to fight John Ryder May 6th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. And he's going to look to rematch, as he stated in the same interview that he picked David Benavidez. He's going to be looking to fight a rematch with undefeated WBA light heavyweight world champion Russian superstar boxer Dmitry Bivol, who beat him 2 fights ago. Okay, and so he says he wants to rematch with Dimitri Bivol, and he feels like he can win, and that's his goal, right? But first, he wants to get back because he had surgery. He's going to fight John Ryder Cinco de Mayo weekend. Then he'll fight Dimitri Bivol. Hopefully, is his plan in September. Okay, Mexican Independence Day weekend. So with that said, I highly doubt that Canelo Alvarez is going to fight the winner of this fight unless he fights them in the winter, okay, of this year, right? Now, he's going to fight, again, like I said, John Ryder in May. He's going to fight possibly Dimitri Bivol. Now, if Dimitri Bivol, who's looking to fight Artur Beterbiev, the undefeated, unified light heavyweight world champion, Russian Canadian superstar boxer, in an undisputed match, and the WBC allows this to happen because the WBC is already dictating that Artur Beterbiev has to face off against another opponent. Okay, Caleb Smith, who Canelo Alvarez beat, as the mandatory challenger, instead of allowing him to fight for undisputed. But if he somehow is able to secure that undisputed match between himself and Artur Beterbiev, that being Bivol, then he may just push the Canelo Alvarez fight in September to the side and look to fight Canelo Alvarez later in the year, which would then open the door for Canelo Alvarez to face the winner of Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. Okay, again, he already knocked out Caleb Plant, but Caleb Plant decisively beats David Benavidez in dramatic fashion. Let's say he knocks him out and knocked out Anthony Durrell. Well, that rematch is, people will call for it. Okay, it's doable, it's sellable. Okay, and so, but back to this, Caleb Plant is in tip-top shape, and this is the shape that Caleb Plant needs to be in. He has to be in absolute tip-top shape because the problem with Caleb Plant is even when he beat Jose Uzcategui for the IBF title, in the second half of the fight, he faded. When he was fighting Canelo Alvarez, I thought he was actually winning or the fight was close. But then in the second half of the fight, once again, he faded. He got fatigued, right? Because he utilizes a lot of movement. He's a pure boxer, not a big puncher. But in the Anthony Durrell fight, he nailed Anthony Durrell. But his style is to be a pure boxer, right? He moves. He's a sweet science fighter. Okay, he uses angles. He uses his foot speed, his foot angles, foot movement, jab. Combinations. He's a boxer's boxer. Okay. And so in the second half of these fights, he's faded. That's something he absolutely cannot do against David Benavidez, who's going to put a lot of physical and mental pressure on him. He walks forward. He has extremely fast hands, David Benavidez, probably faster hands than Caleb Plant. He definitely has more power than Caleb Plant, and he's definitely bigger than Caleb Plant. You can see that at the weigh-in. He clearly was the bigger man, okay? And so, and he's a pressure fighter. But where David Benavidez lacks is foot speed and defense, okay? He's not defensively responsible, and he doesn't have the quickest feet. But he does cut off the ring, and he was dropped by a jab by Ronald Graville. So we know he can be put down. But with that said, he's durable. His stamina is at an all-time, he has a very high work rate. And so, he puts a lot of physical and mental pressure on his opponents. And so if Caleb Plant was to win this fight, he has to be in the absolute best shape of his life, not just because of the biggest fight of his career, but because of the style of David Benavidez, the pressure that he puts on you. You have to be able to, withstand that, okay? You have to be able to, continuously turn him. I don't know if Caleb Plant knocks out David Benavidez, right? Because David Benavidez gets hit a lot. But he's going to need to be using angles, utilizing his foot movement, utilizing his foot speed, utilizing combinations, right? Because Anthony Durrell, if you look at that fight with Anthony Durrell and David Benavidez, Anthony Durrell was outboxing David Benavidez. But again, he succumbed to that pressure, that hand speed, that power, right? Now, David Benavidez is not a one-punch knockout artist, but he got some very, very heavy hands and very fast hands, and speed equals power, right? And has a very high work rate, so he overwhelms you with his size. He always coming forward, and so that could be a serious problem for a fighter that fades. So Caleb Plant showing his physique and showing us that he's in the absolute best shape of his life is going to be well needed, because on top of that, David Benavidez is in getting in the best shape of his life. Okay. And that means that he's very, very motivated by this fight. That means his work rate is going to be extremely high. As his father, Jose Benavidez Sr., stated, they're working on cutting off the ring because Caleb Plant asked for a 22-foot ring. So we know that Caleb Plant is using to move around the ring, is planning on moving around the ring as he always does. That's just the style of Caleb Plant anyway. That's who he is. That's what he does. And so they're working on cutting off the ring. So Caleb Plant is absolutely going to have to be in the best shape of his life, because he's dealing with a motivated David Benavidez that doesn't like him. Now, he can use that against him, right? Use that aggression against him. Use his jab. Use his foot speed, his angles, right? He has to use those things to his advantage, but he got to do it for 12 rounds. He can't fade after the 6th, 7th round, because then he's going to get stopped. So he showed off his physique. He showed that he's in the best shape of his life. He wanted this big ring, and they granted it to him. And they're working on cutting off the ring because they understand what he's going to be doing. They understand the game plan. Hit and not get hit. Move around the ring. Use the jab. Use the angles, right? So this is going to be a very, very interesting fight. If Caleb Plant's stamina and durability lasts, I think he'll outbox David Benavidez. But if he fades by the 6th round, he starts to get tired, I think he's going to get stopped by the 8th round. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. I can't wait. So Caleb Plant shows his physique in the absolute best shape of his life already. The fight is March 25th, okay? It's almost 2 months, still 2 months away, and he's already in the best shape of his life. Is there such thing as overtraining? David Benavidez has been training for quite some time as well for this fight. So I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be a barn burner. I think it's going to be exciting. Can't wait to see how it unfolds. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.